From the rain-soaked streets of a city that keeps its books in the dark, Callaway Bay Radio presents Endless Noir. Tonight, The Interested Party.
The rain had been at the window for 3 days, patient as a bill collector. Then a knock, soft, even. 3 raps and no fourth. I knew the sound before I opened the door. The license examiner knocks the way she files. Exactly. And never one stroke more than the rule allows. Examiner, it's 2 a.m. and it's raining sideways. A woman of paper standing in a room full of smoke. You're a long way from your desk.
I'm aware of the hour. I came directly. It seemed the correct thing to do the moment I read the file. And correctness doesn't keep business hours.
Sit. There's a chair that doesn't wobble if you can find it. Whiskey?
No, thank you. I'll stand. This won't take long, and I'd rather deliver it plainly. There is a reorganization. By the end of the week, I will be moved off the review desk. Reassigned, the paper says. Removed, if you use the honest word.
Reorganization. That's a big word for a small knife. The honest ones always go the same way. Quiet, on a Friday, with a form to sign. Who's holding the pen this time?
The board sits Friday. I'm not here to fight it. I don't fight things. I record them. I'm here because of what's in the supporting packet. They've assembled a file to justify the move. Among the materials cited against me are 2 entries. Both mine, both true. This is the cover sheet. These 2 lines are the ones I filed about you. The correction and the advocacy. I read a man capable of a false trail and a truth signed in his own hand. It was accurate the day I wrote it, and it's accurate now. They've listed it as evidence I lack judgment.
So they're using the one honest thing in your file to prove you're not fit to keep it. My name in their packet doing their work for them.
Yes, you had a right to know your name was in it. That's the whole of my errand. I don't expect you to do anything. I'm not certain there's anything to do. But the record named you, and I don't let the record say a thing about a man behind his back. Even now. Especially now.
She set the cover sheet on my blotter, squared it to the edge out of habit, and told me the board sat Friday. 2 lines of the truth filed by the one clerk in this city who'd never learned to lie, and the machine was going to hang her with them. Frankie used to say everybody's got a price. He was wrong about her. That was the trouble. In Callaway Bay, the only thing more dangerous than a crook is somebody who won't bend, and I was looking at the last one standing, with 4 days on the clock. The back room at the Chronicle smelled of hot lead and cold coffee, and Flynn was already reading over my shoulder before I'd got my hat off. A good news hound reads paper the way a pickpocket reads a crowd. He had the packet open to the reorganization notice, and his face had gone the careful kind of blank.
This the License Bureau's Shake Up Flynn Chronicle. I've had 3 of these across my desk this month. Consolidation of review functions. Efficiencies, nice clean words, and every single one lands on somebody who wouldn't stay bought.
The examiner. They're not firing her, they're just moving the desk out from under her. Routine efficiency, it says right there.
Routine's the costume, not the corpse. An examiner who can't be leaned on isn't a scandal, pal. She's an inconvenience. And this city doesn't jail its inconveniences. It files them, reassigns them somewhere with no signature and no teeth, and calls it good government.
They need a reason to move her. What's the reason?
That's the ugly part. Turn the page and the only exhibit they list. One entry where she put an honest word on the record about a private operator. She told the truth about a man once in writing. That's the whole file. So they're calling the truth bias, and the bias is what pries her loose.
The operator in the file? That's me, isn't it?
Your name, her hand, dated and stamped. She was straight about you once, and they've reforged it into a knife with her fingerprints on the handle. Me, I'd love to print it. But the machine holds a small fact about my own household, and it likes me to remember that. So I hand you the thread, and I keep my byline off it. Frankie's stool sits empty for less.
So there it was, tidy as a filing cabinet. Nobody at the top had reached down for her. The city was just cleaning house the way it always did, and the broom it had picked up was her one honest word about me. Her decency, sharpened and turned around, aimed at her own throat. I'd walked in wanting a name. Flynn had given me the machine instead, and the machine had my name in it already.
Time, friends, is the one thing this city never gives back. The Calvert Watch Company builds 17 jewel movements that keep it to the second, through rain, rough handling, and late nights. Calvert, the second hand you can trust. And now, the conclusion of the interested party.
The snow came down on the board hall steps the way it comes down on everything in this city. Slow, patient, covering what it can't clean. She stood under the lamp with a folder held flat against the cold, the way nobody's taught to hold one in years. The Examiner, the one desk in the whole machine I've never learned to work. Examiner. I'll say it plain, since plain's the only language you keep. Friday's session, the reorg board. I'm going to walk into it as a named party. Interested? On the record.
The complaint alleges a personal tie between us influenced a filing. You propose to answer an allegation of a hidden interest by declaring the interest.
A whisper only works in the dark. You drag the tie out under the lamp, say it out loud in a room that writes everything down, and there's nothing left to whisper. It stops being a scandal. It starts being a fact.
Then understand what the fact is before you make it. You are asking to be cross-filed beside me as an interested party. That entry is permanent. It links your name to mine in the record, and it does not come out.
I've spent 35 cases keeping my name off every page in this town. The one that was ever mine got scraped off a door in the cold. Figures the first ink I sign is next to yours.
I want it said correctly. I have no authority to remove that link. Not next year, not ever. I could not unfile it if you came back and begged me to. Do you understand what you are asking me to write?
I understand it, file it. She wrote nothing down. She never does, out on the steps. She carries it and files it clean, the way nobody teaches anymore. But she nodded once, and the snow filled the space where an answer should have gone. A man spends his whole life staying off the ledger, then walks up on a cold night and asks the one honest hand in the machine to write him in permanent, right next to the only person in it he can't afford to be tied to. Friday, I'd find out what a name costs when you spend it on purpose. The complaint against the Examiner died the way most lies do in the open air, quiet and without a funeral. She'd answered every line of it in a Friday session, and a thing that can be answered is nowhere left to live. By morning, she had her review desk back, and I had the kind of headache you can't blame on the bottle.
Coffee sunshine. Real coffee, since we're apparently celebrating. She keeps her chair, the machine keeps its hat and coat, and strolls off to try again next week. That the win?
That's the win. She's the only honest gear left in the whole apparatus, Dale. You don't let them pull her for being clean.
No. You just walk down and file a statement of support to keep her. In your own hand. Signed. Which is a funny thing for a man who scraped his own name off the door to do on a Tuesday.
It was Friday.
It was the one thing you had that this city could never put on paper. And you spent it. 34 cases you kept that blank. Now you're cross-filed right next to her. In the record. In ink. She can't be scratched out without scratching you. Congratulations. Your company now.
She set the cup down and didn't say the rest because she didn't have to. The girl at that desk was safe, and the city hadn't moved an inch. I'd kept an honest name honest by tying it to mine, and mine wasn't supposed to exist. Frankie used to say a man who signs anything in this town has just told them where to find him. I'd finally gone and signed, not to save my skin, to keep hers. The one page they could never write me onto, I'd written myself, and there's no ink in Callaway Bay that lifts. Rain again. In Callaway Bay, it's always coming down somewhere, on somebody who had it coming and somebody who didn't. The phone will ring soon enough. It always does.
A man can hide most things, friends, but never a cheap hat. The Meridian Hat Company has blocked fine felt for gentlemen since 1908. Rainproof, wind-steady, and shaped to keep your business under the brim where it belongs. Meridian, the hat that keeps its shape and yours. And now, our second feature, The Man on the Page.
The cold had come down on Callaway Bay like a verdict. No fog to soften it, just hard stars and frost writing its own name across my office glass, right over the ghost of the one somebody scraped off the door last year, a name that was never mine. Dale had the desk lamp lit and a plain envelope in her hand, and for once she wasn't reaching for the joke.
It came by hand, Sunshine. No stamp, no return, just your number typed on the front. It's from the Licensing Bureau. They want you to answer a question.
Read it to me, Dale. The short version. It's late and the bottle's already got opinions about my judgment.
Short version? You put your name on their reorganization record. First thing of theirs you ever signed. And some clerk went looking behind it and found nothing there. So now there's a standing question with your number on it. Appear and be entered in the register, or close the office for good.
35 cases they could paper every soul in this city but me. I hand them one signature, and that's the thing that finally lets them ask who I am.
There's a time on it. And a desk number. It's her desk, the examiner's. The one person in that building you can't buy, can't rattle, and can't sweet talk. The only desk in the whole machine you don't know how to work.
I knew that desk. I'd stood in front of it once and watched an honest woman nearly lose her chair for telling the plain truth about me. Now the truth had my number in a tray, and it wanted me sitting across from the one instrument in Callaway Bay that writes down only what's so. I walked it on foot. No cab, no fog to duck into. Just a cold that scrubbed the streets down to the stone and hard stars that didn't blink. For once, the whole city could watch me coming, and I found I didn't care for the feeling. The bureau was dark but for one window. Behind it, at her desk after hours, the examiner was waiting with a ledger open and her coat still on. The notice said, "Your desk, examiner. After hours, no less. You keep late company for a woman who does everything by the book."
You signed your name onto the reorganization record. That created a party of record with no file behind it. The regulation is plain. A party of record either sits to be entered or the license lapses. I did not write the rule. I only keep it.
And if I sit, what is it you'd put down about a man like me?
What is true? Not one word of favor, not one word against you. That is the only way I know how to hold a pen. You have been afraid of the wrong people your whole life, mister.
That's the trap, though, isn't it? Every other soul in this town lies with a form and calls it business. You're the one gear that won't bend, which makes you the exact gear that finally sets me down on paper straight.
The office opens at 8. Come, or don't. If you sit, I enter you true. If you don't, the door closes on its own by regulation, and I do nothing at all. Decide before the doors.
She'd read me in file only what was so. No favor, no malice, no room to work. And once her pen was down, there'd be no lifting it again. Not by her, not by me, not by anybody in Callaway Bay who ever wanted a piece of either one of us. The Chronicle's back room smelled of cold ink and colder coffee, and the radiator had quit sometime before I was born. That's where Flynn found me. Flynn of the Chronicle, the fast one. The only Flynn left in this story now that the others scraped off my glass. He pulled a chair he didn't need and leaned in the way newsmen do when they're holding something you'll want.
Here's your out and it's clean, so listen. A question like yours doesn't have to get answered, it can just expire. Quiet withdrawal, lapsed on a technicality, slid to the bottom of a tray where nobody digs. You stay a ghost. You've been a ghost for 35 stories, pal. You can be one for the 36th.
And the catch. There's always a catch on a free door, Flynn. I've never once walked through one that didn't cost somebody the frame.
The catch has a desk, your examiner. Kill the question instead of answering it and it doesn't die. It just sits there, cross-filed next to her name, half open, waiting for the next hungry supervisor to pry it back up and finish what that complaint started. So there it is, flat. You stay invisible, she pays, you get entered, you pay. That's the whole arithmetic, and it doesn't come out even for anybody.
The Dodge was real. It was mine for the taking, the way every Dodge in this town had always been mine, easy as leaving a bar tab open. All it cost was a half question left hanging over an honest woman's desk for some clerk with a slow afternoon to open up and read out loud.
Friends, the night runs long in this town, and nobody knows it better than the man who works it. That's why night people reach for lamplight coffee. Slow roasted, honest, and strong enough to keep a fellow's eyes where they belong. Open. Lamplight, the cup that keeps the night shift honest. And now, the conclusion of the man on the page.
I came back before 8, before the office opened, before the Dodge could do its quiet work in some tray downstairs. The cold hadn't let up all night, neither had I. The examiner had the ledger squared to the edge of the desk and a chair pulled out, like she'd known which way I'd break. I'm not taking thee out, examiner. I'm not leaving that thing hanging over your desk for somebody else to open. Enter me. Whatever's true, write it down.
Then sit. Height, weight. Eyes, gray. Occupation, investigator, licensed, in continuous practice. Address of record, the office on the 3rd floor. I put down what I can see and what I can verify, and nothing I can't. Name.
Her pen came up over the one line that mattered, the line the whole city had been trying to fill for a year. She held it there a moment, then she set it down again on the line below and left the one above it clean. Blank. Because blank was the true answer, and she only ever wrote what was true.
I don't invent one to fill a space. The line stays as it is. That is not a gap in the file. That is the file.
Known, not named.
Entered. Accurate. Complete. Your license stands.
She closed the book on a real man, read down every line and finished, and left my name where it had always lived. Nowhere at all. A true finished thing can't be unmade. I'd kept the one thing this city could never take off me, and I'd spent the thing I never knew I had to spend, the dark to disappear into. Callaway Bay finally had me on paper. It just couldn't spell me. Morning came up hard and clear over Callaway Bay. No rain to blur the edges of it, the harbor sheeted in a frost that wouldn't give till noon. Dale had the coffee going before I got the door open, the way she does when she's decided we're going to talk about something whether I like it or not. You're in early, Dale, earlier than the sun, and it beat most everybody.
You spent the whole year on one question. Don't tell me you didn't. I typed the bills. Whether a man could go all the way through this town without ever once getting written down. And now you've got your answer. And I'm the one who has to say it out loud, because you never will. He can't. Not anymore. That was the price of the year, the whole of it. And it's paid.
There's usually a line for this, something weary and wise about what a thing like that runs a man and how the city never...
Don't. Not this time. You don't get the neat little sentence, and I'm not going to hand it to you so you can file it and feel square. You paid. It's done. The city can see you now. That's all of it there is.
She was right, the way she's always right about the things I duck under. The machine still couldn't say my name, but it knew my shape now, down to the gray of the eyes. And a man a city knows is not the man who walked in a year back with nothing but a scraped-off door and a habit of vanishing. A knock, sharp and certain, ringing in the hard, clear cold. Somewhere behind that frosted glass stood the first caller for a man Callaway Bay could finally see. The old question was dead on the floor. A new one had already taken its chair, not whether I could stay invisible. What a man does when the city's looking straight back at him.
The books never balance in Callaway Bay, sunshine. We just keep them anyway. Good night.
Next week, The Man Who Knew Me When. Endless Noir is a work of fiction. The scripts are written by artificial intelligence. The voices are professional voice clones from 11 Labs Voice Library.